We're breathing. Allow yourself to explore a few really good deep breaths. Feeling those lungs extend outward in all directions. And then that nice, relaxing, slow exhale. Good. So this deep breath will be what helps to carry us in toward our practice today. The big idea that we're focusing on today, I always have an intention that I bring. The idea that we can leave in the back of our mind today is the idea of music, imagining that our body resonates with different frequencies and different rhythms, kind of like different instruments in an orchestra. And this is very true. Our heart has its own rhythm. Our breath has its own rhythm. Our brain has its own rhythm. The hormones have their own rhythm. And so very much everything has their own rhythm, their own cycle, their own pace, their own beat. And so today we're imagining that we can kind of hear this musical beat, this musical rhythm within. And when we notice parts of our internal orchestra out of tune, as in it's tight or it's sore or it's just difficult, whatever it is, imagine anytime you come across that, you're giving it time and space for you to actually be able to tune those things. So imagine a big tuba in an orchestra, just out of tune. Everybody else can sound great, but if that one thing just sounds awful, the whole thing decreases. It doesn't feel quite as good. It's not quite as enjoyable. And so just imagine all sorts of the parts and pieces of our body by the end will be tuned, will feel good, stretched out, even worked out a little bit. And so in this way, we're helping to create a nice harmonious system within. So that's the idea, that kind of mental image that we can place in the back of our mind as we start to move into our class today. So with that idea, let's begin some of our physical stretches. I like to take some nice stretches to get us started. So begin to take the arms all the way to the back wall. And then let the shoulders wiggle right and left. This is a nice lateral lean. So leaning each side, we get the ribs to start stretching. The shoulders start opening. You don't necessarily have to go fast, but find your rhythm for this. And take just a few more, maybe one or two more to each side. And when you're back through the center, start to hug your hands around the right knee, pulling that into the chest. So that right hip crease, start to get pulled open, that nice stretch. And right leg starts to stretch up to the sky. You can grab onto the back side of the thigh or grab onto the foot, helping to pull it up, up, up. And imagine the calves and the hamstring. It's like the huge, deep notes. So maybe a cello or something else that you imagine to be super deep. And really let that area have length. We'll take one more good breath from here. And then what we're doing is pulling this right leg so far back that we can hook the right foot on the back left part of the fabric. It's that part that's by our ear. Once you've got that foot hooked all the way on that back edge, then continue to slide the shin in. So it's almost like a pigeon pose, but we're laying on our back. You got it. Hooking the arm around the calf, just pull it in nice and deep. So that right hip begin to open. Usually one of those two areas tends to be tight for people. Either your hip is tight or your hamstring. So just tuning in, what is it that you feel today? And how can we open our kind of notoriously tight spots? Another beautiful inhale. And exhale, we'll start to free out this leg. Give it a tug. When you drop it all the way down, feel how the right side is so different than the left side. Now we've got some tuning to do on the left. Start off hugging the left knee in. Just a nice hug. Sometimes I'll do some toe circles while I'm there. So maybe imagine you've got kind of like a little bell hooked on your toes and you're trying to bring that bell to all directions. Good, and then this leg starts to extend all the way up. Grab on wherever you can comfortably reach. Notice those deep notes that are trying to resound. We start to head to that hip opener, so this left foot needs to go all the way, hooking back to that right edge, and then slide the shin in. One more beautiful inhale. Exhale, free out the leg. Drop this leg next to the other one. Now leave the legs inside the fabric like this, but grip up high so that the hands can help the torso sit up tall. Good. And then as you continue to let more of the fabric slide down toward that low back, we're going to take a nice back bend off the back edge. So you'll just slide some of the fabric through your hands until maybe just your head, or maybe your shoulders, or maybe your whole back is taking that back bend. You choose how deep you go on this. And also watch out, this is our first inversion of the day. So different people are better or less attuned to doing inversions. So if you start to feel any sort of dizziness, nausea, anything like that, don't feel like it's a competition. You come up every time when you're ready to for the inversion. So no rush if you're still enjoying it, but when you are ready to be up, feel free to stretch over both of your straight legs. If you're not up already, go ahead and rise. From this spot, with our legs still out in front of us, keep your right hand gripping on. Your left hand is going to do an arc, so reach that left hand forward and then lift it directly up above the body. Continue to circle it all the way to the back wall. Good, and then circle that arm to return. And then switch sides. Second arm gets its turn to do that huge arc. Good, returning. Good, notice any of those little tiny noises, those musical notes that might have started to happen in that shoulder. So from here, kick the feet free off the front end. We're gonna take a nice twist to go even a little bit deeper. So grab the fabric that's on your right side. You'll grip that fabric with the left hand and the right arm goes to the back wall. Or that hand can circle around the fabric right behind your head. Whatever you like better for the twist. You're just letting it open, spiraling that spine as much as the spine wants to go here. Nice inhale. And exhale, release. Take it, the twist to the other side, bunching up the fabric. And then it's your back arm that starts to open or circle. Notice your inhale's bringing a little bit more height. Exhale's a little bit more twist. So one more breath like that, in and out. Good, and then from here, you're gonna bunch up the fabric that helps you to face toward me the easiest. So you guys stay on the side that you were just gripping. Yep, you face toward me. And you're gonna lock your arms straight. The hip that just got lifted up from that leg is gonna rise up and over so that we're straddling. Got it. Sometimes the first time it's kind of funky, so just keep on working your way, you're doing fine. Good, and then both legs can come inside. Let them stretch out long. Good, a hand grips on to each side to help press the legs even wider. Use a little bit of core strength to try to sit up tall, but then the arm strength helps to press those legs wide. One more cycle of breath here, in. And exhale, we're gonna rest. The knees slide open to the side while the feet come in to touch. So it's almost like a big cobbler's pose that we've set up. I like this because it's almost like a little cocoon. It's a perfect meditative state. So what I'd like us to do while we're here for a moment is consider the goals that you have for this year, for this day, for this month. And really just take a moment to tune into that. Think of how the music flows for that goal. Is this an inspiring goal? Is this a stretching goal? If you had to give that goal a tune, what would it sound like? We kind of have a mental image of that music that our goal would eventually create. Our next couple of breaths are trying to get our body to help match with that music so that naturally we're helping the process out. We're helping head our way naturally toward that song, toward that goal, toward that future that we're hoping to create. So take a few minutes, a few moments here. Just as you're breathing easily, try to envision what it would take in the different areas of your body or in your emotions or in other areas of our life. What would it take for us to rise up and meet that music, the music of our future? Enjoy another breath or two. And we'll let the legs spread out nice and wide again. Once we're at that wide angle, slide the right hand down the right leg. Left hand also reaches up and over. That good stretch for the shoulder, for the side ribs, all those goodies. Good, rising up. We'll switch sides, slide the left hand down, right hand up and over. Okay, back up. Start to kick the feet off of each side. We're back down to the knees. So once we're there, adding a little bit of an aspect of strength. Think of this almost like a cat-cow. When you push into the fabric, you can kind of round the spine back, even lift the legs up for a brief moment, a little pulse. And then when the knees bend, pull the heart forward and through a slight arch. Exhale, lift. Inhale, pull through, arch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Spine's feeling good. So now opening up the hip even more, your front leg, the one that's toward the mirror, take that ankle and then place the shin into the fabric that's in front of you. Another chance to get into that hip. So if this is pretty intense already, you can push your arms into it. That'll make it easier. If you want to go deeper, you'll release or even hug and pull it in tighter. Kind of lean into it. Then heading to the hamstring again, that foot that you just brought up, place the arch of the foot onto the fabric in front of you. You want the toes turned out. And then once it's there, I like to get the fabric gathered up, by the way, that helps. So turned out would be toward the mirror, toes to the mirror. Yeah, that's it. Okay, once you're there, start to slide the leg up. It might not be able to go all the way straight. This is pretty intense. If you're doing okay here, you do have that option that we did before to maybe start releasing. That makes it deeper. If you hug and pull it in, it goes really intense. So you get to choose that depth. Find that perfect amount for this part of your body. Nothing wrong, it's pretty deep. Good, one more deep inhale. And exhale, we can start freeing this leg out. Second, shin comes up. Okay, this one's for the hip. Maybe give it the hug and pull in if you need more. One more breath for that hip. And then we'll take it into the arch of the foot and let it start to rise. Just try to breathe into the belly, 2 more cycles of breath. When you finish that last one, this foot that's up, face it toward the front of the room again. That'll help you to start facing forward. The hips will be off center, so just kind of shift left to right until you're facing forward again. And from here, heading into our second inversion. This is another one, just pay attention to that rule, listen to your body. When you need to come up, that's fine. You'll just come on up. The way we come into this inversion is take your thumbs onto this fabric that's right behind you. And you're trying to push the fabric, not under your sitting bones, but to the back side of the hips, kind of like that pant line area. Once you've got it there, lean halfway back and grip on like a tabletop. And then the last step is to head backwards. Your legs have to go wide. That'll make sure you won't fall out. And then wrap your ankles, and then you can let go of hands. This is one of those reasons why people love aerial, is because this gives the freedom for the vertebrae to just lengthen. Just letting our back muscles go. So just sit and enjoy it. Yep. If you didn't quite get the right spot, try again. Usually a little bit lower makes it more comfortable. Yeah. You feel safe to let go. You're safe too. Just remember where you grabbed from, where you released from, because that'll be that same spot you can grip onto. Yeah, nothing wrong with in and out. Honestly, that gives you more practice, so go for it. Yeah, when you come up, just take a break for 1 minute. That'll give your blood pressure a chance to regulate again. Good, good. You found the perfect spot. Sometimes people like to use this as a workout as well. You're absolutely welcome to do crunches if you'd like. Beautiful. So in coming out, we hook our elbows, and then I kind of like to shimmy my shoulders forward, so it's almost like a child pose. That gives my back a stretch, and I can kind of release my forehead down to stretch the neck as well. This one's called floating child. So any of these recovery moments following inversions, if I don't stay long enough and you know that you need a little bit more time before your body's happy again, you are welcome to just stay. Don't ever feel pressure to move on before you need it. Sometimes when we come up, there's like the ear ringing, or like it's like just a little bit too much blood in the head for a moment. So don't ever feel a rush. You're just recovering until it all feels good. But when you're ready to be out, we grab on and then just lift the hips right up and out. That'll bring us to that good standing spot. Beautiful. So from here, let's go ahead and do some nice pull-ups. The arms, the fabric's still across the front of the shoulders, and then the arms circle around and then above the head, and then around again before you grip on. Good. You're welcome to do flex arm hang and just curl up into that tight ball and hold, or you can go up and down a few times like pull-ups. Even if you're just doing the best that you can, that's fine as well. Remember to breathe the whole time. You're not holding your breath. So when you're ready, go right ahead. Pull-ups or flex arm hang, try to just hold. Good. Yep, just do the best you can, even giving your hands a break for a moment if you need it. Yes. You can also slide your hands a little bit closer. That'll be a little bit closer to that flex arm hang, so it's less of a jump to get up. Yeah, good. No matter what you're doing, we're building that strength, so you're doing good. Maybe one or two more of whatever we can do. Good work. Go ahead and free yourself all the way out. Shake out your hands for a moment. Oh, I know the heater's on. Should I bump it off after that one? Okay, then the fabric will be out in front of us. You can keep the grip light at first while our hands are still recovering. And we're gripping about as wide as shoulders and then letting the upper body go forward, hips go back. So this can be stillness if this is touching good spots like in the hamstrings, or you can kind of wiggle, small wiggles left and right, or even super large wiggles getting into the shoulders. Give it 2 more breaths, whatever feels good here. And then we'll start to rise all the way back up to stand. As we're starting here, let's step our right foot into the fabric. And we'll try for some more pull-ups here. This time you have the option to use this leg to help you. That would help you to stand up and down. If you straighten the leg instead, it'll make it more about the arm strength. So you get to choose. Let's try to go for 5. Take an inhale breath. Exhale to go. 4, 3, 2. Great work. Last one. Awesome. We're going to be strong this year. Let's let that pass the heel. And then just let that leg go straight. Good, so you've got 2 options. You can either slide the hands down to lean closer to that hamstring, or you can slide the hands up and do a full splits forward. Whatever feels better. Gorgeous. Give it 2 more breaths. And then rising up, grip your left hand to the right side, or that left hand can push on the outside of the right side. So you'll notice the grip is easier, the push is a little bit more fun for a balance challenge. And then the right arm will begin to open out to that space behind you. And another nice twist. With this one, if you're letting the leg cross past midline, so the leg in front of you is going toward the left, then that helps to get into the IT band for that right leg. Beautiful. Returning forward. And then gripping on the left side, the right hand will slide down, the left hand will slide up. Last thing we have to do is just turn the toes open to that long edge, and we're set up for that nice side body stretch. It's like a triangle pose, or you can continue to go forward into side splits. Two more beautiful breaths. And then squeeze in our thighs together to come up. Grip one hand on each side, facing forward once more. This is a chance to switch legs. So you can either switch with a swinging switch, which I'll show, or you can just step the foot out, step the other foot in. So whatever you like. The swinging switch, you leave the leg straight so it doesn't turn into a swing. With a straight leg, you can step the second foot in, the first foot out. Yeah. Good. Grip a little. Are you trying it?
No.
Okay, that's fine. You're on it. That's fine. I was like, am I waiting or no? That's not a problem. Go ahead and step it to the foot first so we can do our pull-ups. Once we're there, grip high. Remember, bent knee or straight leg, be conscious. Inhale and exhale to go. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. Okay, slip it back off the heel, and then this is that one. You can either slide down or reach up high and splits forward. Love the hammock for how it supports the joints so nicely. Okay, starting to come back up to stand. This one is right hand gripping to left strand or right hand pushing into the left strand. Either way, the other arm opens up to that wall behind, run that nice twist. Maybe the IT band if you're letting that front leg cross to the right. It changes the balance, so you have to watch it out. Good, returning forward. The right hand, both hands actually will be on the right side. So then left hand goes down, right hand goes up, and then turn the toes open. And you've got that nice side stretch, like a triangle pose, or continue to sink further. Nice inhale. Exhale, we can return. If you want to practice the swinging switch just one more time for practices, that's fun. Otherwise, we'll end up out completely. Okay, so down to downward facing dog. The arms are diving into the fabric. We're using the hands to help the fabric go right across the front of the hip bones. We don't want it in the guts, that's much more uncomfortable. So from here, if you have any slack in the fabric, step forward just a hair to take that out. And then continue to lean the hips forward so that you're locking the fabric right in the bones. Bend forward, hands drop down. Several steps back until the hips are back under plumb line, meaning you won't swing anymore if you lift with the feet. Good, so a moment with down dog. Push the hands and the feet into the earth. The hips are lifting the highest they've ever done. And if you'd like to try the hip hang, the knees have to stay pointed down, but we can lift the toes up. Got it. Sometimes I'll even hug around my shins. Good. So if you're experiencing a really deep massage, that's normal. It gets better over time. So if it's really intense today, that's okay. It'll get better and better. But if it's feeling nice, kind of try to just breathe into that stretch. Good. You could always drop the feet back down to the down dog. That'll make it easier. This is an inversion just like all the others, so the same rule applies. When you get to that point when your body says, okay, I've been upside down long enough, and those of you that are still enjoying upside down, stay a bit longer, no rush to come out. But when you reach that point, you'll eventually come forward and then just kind of roll your way safely up. And only when you're up like that, then just turn around, catch yourself on the armpits and just lean for a moment. That'll give your head some time to re-center. Got it. Oftentimes I'll walk my feet up right under those metal pieces, and then I'll kind of bend one knee and sway to one side, and then bend the other knee and sway to the other side. Good. Just like before, this is a recovery pose, so you need to stay longer than I give. Absolutely stay, don't ever feel rushed out. But we'll just be here a few more breaths if you're doing good. It takes the body a little while to get used to some of those inversions, so it gets easier and easier as we come. And that massage gets easier as well. Okay, and before we completely head out too, take a moment to kind of check in with your orchestra. How are things feeling? What can we pay attention to for the rest of class? From here, actually go ahead and keep the fabric right at that shoulder blade area. If it's up to the armpits, bring it to the underneath those shoulder bones. And then once it's at that spot, walk all the way back. And then we'll start to walk the feet forward, kind of bending the hips down until it's like we're sitting in a chair right underneath that plumb line. So again, if it gets too much for the armpits, just slide it a little bit further down, like toward those bones. And then the more you can release the abdominal effort, the more gravity will help to just kind of pull the spine really long. Good, so slide this right leg long out in front of you. And then we're gonna lift that right leg up and down 5 times the highest we can get it. So when you're ready, kick it up for 5, and 4, 3, 2. This last one, see if you can catch it in your hands. It's okay if you're not quite as high, yeah. Gonna pull it in for a little stretch, even if it's nice, that's okay. Yeah. Good, good. Sink the hips down into it. Good. Take that right ankle to left thigh and then relax that weight back down. If you ever need a little break for your armpits, that's okay, just go back. Good, drop right foot to the floor, second side. So left leg is long. Take an inhale to prep. Exhale, kick up, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, try to catch it. And stay in that stretch. Good. Left ankle to right thigh, sit down. Okay, dropping that down, both feet walk their way wide. And then we take a few times. This could be kind of just swinging in the center, or you could go all the way until one leg is straight, and then all the way to the other side. Good. And then from here, angling the legs just a little bit forward, so it's more like that 45-degree angle. We grip up high. It's a tight grip because we're gonna start sliding our shoulders forward and through. I'm gonna straighten the legs out, and the goal is to try to squeeze your way down to the glutes. You got it. Yeah, that's okay. Once you're there, see if you can slide your hands forward to be leaning to a long forward angle. Good, you got it. Okay. And then as we sit back up, you can either use one of your hands or just come all the way back. We're gonna aim both of our feet to come inside. Good, once you've got the feet inside, turn the toes out, that'll lock you in place. Hands are on the floor right next to the hips. Let's do a few bridge poses. So inhale, lift up the hips, and then one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, roll all the way back down. Gonna follow that speed of the breath. establishing the rhythm, kind of trying to find that natural rhythm, that pace of the body. Do more like this. After that last one, rest the hips down for a moment. When the hips are on the floor, let the feet kind of swing left and right. Just notice how that's easing into the hip area. Okay, back to stillness. Lift up to bridge pose one more time and stay. And then frog legs, our heels slide in, our knees are bending out to the side, and then straighten back out. Let's try to go for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips all the way to touch the floor. Leaving the left leg in, right leg comes straight toward you. Grab onto it and try to get the hips to be on the ground. They want to lift up because that would make it like a splits. But see what angle you can get to with the hips trying to be on the earth. Maybe the toes are rolling around. Maybe that's where some of your tightness is. Or maybe it's more in the hamstring, and so you use the strength of the arms to help you out. And then either straight leg or bent knee, your choice. Start to twist that right leg a little bit over toward the left. Okay, when hips are back down, right leg comes in, lock those toes, and then left leg comes out and up. Grab onto it, try to keep the hips on the ground as you're in that stretch. Maybe you're focusing on toes, maybe you're focusing on hamstring. What's the spot of our body that needs the tuning right there? Okay, starting to head to the twist. It can be straight leg or bent knee. Head it toward the right. Good, a nice inhale. And exhale, return back down, feet inside. Just a few more of those little sways, left and right, left and right. Okay, when the legs are ready, take the feet all the way to the floor. Let's do a nice sit up to grab the fabric. Okay, and we're gonna do some arm strengthening. So we're setting up for a wrist lock. Take your hands into prayer position, then dive those prayer position hands inside the fabric. From there, turn the thumbs down, and then scoop toward your face under, flip all the way up. Once you've got that flip, separate about as wide as shoulders, and then grab onto the fabric. Good, so you've got a wrist lock set up. Okay, so you got a couple of different options. Option 1, easiest is to have both feet planted and try to do some nice pull-ups. Option 2, one leg at a time hovers, and we do pull-ups that way. Option 3 would be if you can hold a pike and do a full pull-up that way, which we might not be there today. We'll get there Monday. So if you've got both feet, great. If you've got one leg hovering out, great. Choose that one, and we'll go for about 5 or so. If you need a break, that's okay. We'll switch sides. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Everybody can take a break for a moment. Wiggle the fingers. Good. When you're ready to grip back on, we've got both feet again or second leg. Take an inhale, prep. Exhale, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, we got this. 1, yes, strong ladies. Let's do a bonus one just to count to stand. Bring out your hands. Good work. I was like, we're gonna become strong one way or another. Okay. This next one is our straddle back inversion. Those of you that know it, go ahead and go on into it. Straddle back is so similar to the inversion we did earlier. This one, instead of sitting inside, we've got the fabric right by our hips. And so it's that same spot we were trying to get to earlier, maybe a little bit lower. It's like across the sacrum. So right at that spot, you're not sitting on it, but it's on that sacrum. You don't let it rise from there. So my hands are actively pushing as I kind of start to lean back to lock it into place. From here, I want to tiptoe forward until I'm back under plumb line so I don't swing like crazy. And then to go back out, it's hands up, knees wide, and then wrap the ankles just like before. You got it. When you're there, hands are safe to let go. I would go a little bit higher. Yeah. Yep, that looks good. If you take it slower, then that uses the core first of all. So the core is good to build that strength, and it also makes it so it's less swingy. So, good. If you've got hands on the floor, that's beautiful. My recommendation, try to not make it so that you're like tensing up your shoulders to have the hands on the floor. What you were doing was great to kind of do that like shoulder, that elbow stand variation. That's good. Yep. But the one thing I just don't want to see is people kind of like hiking their shoulders to kind of like hold themselves up with the ground. So like unless you're going for a handstand, that's fine too. So are you coming out? Let me know when you come out and I will guide you through step by step. Yes, you're grabbing on. Slowly unwind the feet. Good. Continue to tilt slow, 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 slow. Good. Good. Take a break for a moment. Lean back into it like before. If you want to come back in just a moment, that's fine. Just take a little break. Eventually you get to the point where you just want to stay upside down for half the class. So, so nothing wrong with that. How you guys feeling? Pretty good?
Good. Good.
So if you're trying to, again, start under the plumb line, so that way you're not too far back. Good. Get the fabric in that perfect spot, not too high, not too low. Good. And walk back until all the slack is out. Tip, like as you're leaning back into it, yep, tiptoe forward till you're under plumb line. You did perfect. And then you'll slide the hands up, and then knees go wide is kind of simultaneously. Yeah, I know. Getting it in that spot is important. So yeah, keep on playing until you got it. Yep, you got it. That's okay. So what I would do differently, just kind of, but you look great if you want to stay. Yeah. So what it seems like what you're kind of doing is like charging yourself up and then just kind of releasing. And so what I would do instead, like kind of you got it, you're leaning to make it stick, and then you kind of tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe until it doesn't move. And then you kind of do everything simultaneously. So hands and knees, and then wrap. Yeah, so you got it in that perfect spot. Good, and then walk back until all the slack's out. Yep, you got some pressure into it so it doesn't slide. Yep, and then tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. Socks, I like having socks in the area, but sometimes it makes it slippery, so maybe that's what's going on.
It's wide enough, just it's too condensed in the spot.
Oh, okay. That does give it a deep massage. Eventually you come to like it, but yeah, for the beginning it could be a little bit more intense. Yeah, it gets better, I promise it does. That was fine though, you're good. Yeah, you look, eventually your goal is to get smooth and slow into it, but that was better than the first one for sure.
I think it might be a little low.
I'm guessing too, your head is still fine, but yeah, so in relation to your legs, yeah, maybe. Yeah. But at least your head's still good. That's the important part. So.
Right.
So just so everybody knows where we're headed, this is kind of our last pose before Shavasana. So feel free to hang out, enjoy as long as this is still feeling awesome in the body. Slow, 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 good. Just like that, nice and slow. Lean back for a moment. Good. So eventually at some point, you'll be ready for your Shavasana. Some people, by having so much time in the air, they want to have a grounded Shavasana, so that's fine. If you want to go back inside, just follow every step when you're ready to be inside. Whenever you're in this beautiful Shavasana shape, think back to that music. You know, that music of the goal that we have, whatever that goal is. And use the next couple of minutes to kind of help your whole body come into harmony with your goal, with that vibration level, with that tune, with the melody. Begin to deepen the inhales and the exhales. Introduce little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching it out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. And wiggling the shoulders left and right feels really nice. If anybody would like a fetal position, keep the body long, but start to rock onto the side body so you've got one hip on top of the other hip. And then from that side position, you're able to curl in like a tight little ball and then arc the spine into a slight back bend. So I'll usually do that 2 or 3 times and then switch sides so that the back gets to be evened out. Whenever the spine feels pretty even, at some point you'll make your way up toward a seated position. We're up. We can kick the legs free and we'll join our hands together in front of the heart. I usually like to give the fabric a big hug of gratitude. And so with the hands in front of our heart like this, we feel our body tuned and aligned and so happy, so prepared to go forward energetically toward any goals that we could possibly conceive. We realize that our life is ours to control. We have so much that we can do with this awesome time that we have. And so with this inspiration, with this excitement to lead us forward, let's wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale together now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.